Hey guys, after 1 week or a little under 1 week of the new Sorare, I have come to a realization that there is actually very easy to win rewards now, and I think some of the steps Sorare have made is very incredible and something that gives me a lot of confidence in this game and the future, the long-term plan for Sorare. I have seen some prices in my gallery going up besides them not doing too great, and that gives me a lot of confidence in the platform, although many of my signings have been very well in terms of score, so that also may be one of the cases. So I would really like to know if some of you players have also gone up in value, because in the last couple of years we have seen a downwards trend, and I think now we have hit the rock bottom and now it will go up again. That is just my thought, my belief. But in today's video we'll go through everything Sorare have done very good in this update, because I made a video specifically about the division system that I was a little bit against. But looking back at it, I think it's a very clever by Sorare, and of course the first week will be different from like the majority of the upcoming game weeks, and I completely get that. I was a little bit tilted because I missed out on a lot of money, and of course there will always be situations like that when you're right behind of course price rise when it comes to the rewards pool. But still, most of the things I say I still believe, but the division system in specific I'm not 100% for, as I said in that video. But still, we could first jump in and look at here. Liverpool FC Special Weekly, play for a once-in-a-lifetime experience at Anfield Stadium. I think that is very nice, and very good initiative by Sorare to get new Liverpool managers on board to the game and buying Liverpool cards. It would be very fun if they did this with Manchester United, but like this is just an example of something I think is really cool, and get Liverpool managers and multiple managers over to the pro side of things. And also we can go fast through the Continental Night Special Weekly before we go into the more stuff about how easy it actually is to win rewards on Sorare, because that is something I want to talk about. Continental Nights, I think this is really creative, and this is of course when it's Champions League, Europa League and etc. So it will be an opportunity for you to play in limited, rare, super rare and unique, and I think there are multiple entries. We could take, it's 3 different teams you can play, and for example in rare, top 800 get the reward box, so you don't need a goalkeeper I think to do pretty well in this competition, and also it's a pretty good prize pool for the top 3, and of course cards, which is very nice. And I think there are also some jerseys in the boxes, which is also very cool, but that isn't what we're going to be looking at now. One thing I think is incredible is actually, we could take this as an example first when it comes to this midweek, because as I said, I recommended, keep in mind recommended, that is a big thing to say. I didn't say you should do it, but I recommended you to do it, and that was to change your lineups from champion, not from Premier League to champion, because there are fewer players actually playing in champion compared to how much rewards you will get. And for example, this is for the Collection Glory, $4. I was so close to get 12, 3 points away to get $12, so that is very unfortunate. But still, I would have gotten $0 if I would have played this team in the Premier League section, because they were only Premier League games. So yeah, everyone is going to play them in Premier League, that is common sense, and also very few participants here in Division 1. But still we get away with $4, and it could have been even better. And if, let's say, Newcastle would have kept a clean sheet, we would have been, if you go to view leaderboard, we would have been right up here, probably top 5. But yeah, enough about that. That is just an example of 394 points, getting $4 and very close to $12 in limited. I think that is pretty good for a midweek in champion. Of course there were some very tough fixtures and some very good scores, so that also reflects on it being pretty hard. But the example I want to go with now is this. We can start with Premier League. Let's say in season Division 2. If we click on that, it's 242 managers playing, and we can see the prize pool is top 40. That means that 60%, oh I mean not 60%, but let's do a little bit of quick math there. 15% win rewards around that, if I'm not completely mistaken. Actually more than that, 20%, around 20% will win the rewards here. And I think that is very good. Of course there is 4 hours to the deadline, but I think Premier League will always be a division where there will be fewer people actually winning rewards than when we compare it to Champion, and I will show you in a second why. The same with here, we can see the Division 3, 200 managers participating, and there is a prize pool of top 35. So this is even better. I think this is closer to 25%, or that isn't completely true, is it? Yeah, 20%. I think that is pretty decent actually, but Champion I think is the most undervalued tournament right now in specific, because if you go to in-season Division 3, we can see that 370 points are participating, but the rewards pool are top 90, and that is incredible. That is almost top 30% winning a reward, and that is just incredible. 90 plus 90 plus 90 is going to be 270. Okay, so it's more like 25%, but still I think that is very good. 25% wins $55. Like, that is incredible. Compared to the all-champion system, there were only a little under 10% of actually the managers winning cars, and that would have been tier 5s, which is worth way less than $55. And yeah, sorry my camera just died, but my point was that there is so much opportunity now to get those lower point marks each week, the $55 mark. Although I still agree on my point that I made in the division system video, that I think the prize pool could have gradually gone up, but still I can't complain too much now looking back at it, when I can consistently line up a team like this that is worth around $300 to $400, and in many of the game weeks I could win $55 and upwards and earn that money back, because Salamakers is worth a little over $20. I bought him for a little over $20. Sierra I bought for a little over $30. Victor Christiansen I bought for like 40 euros or dollars, I think. Skorupski I bought for $190, and Jonas Wind I bought for $50 or $60, or a little over that I actually think. So that just comes to show that there are a lot of opportunities now in Rare in specific. And also something I think is talked about a little bit, but not enough. Classic season. I think classic season is probably, or the classic competitions are so undervalued. And when it comes to, or first of all, we can just talk about the difference between first division and third division. If you're going to play the first division, your priority lineup in the first division, please keep in mind that you are playing there to win. If you come top 20, you should have played it in another division. That is just currently what when I look at the division system, that is what I'm currently thinking. Although that may change in the future when Sorare does changes and etc. And this is just for Rare. Keep that in mind. I use examples for Rare. I think the Limited is like completely different. I would play Division 1 in Limited every single week, your priority lineup in Limited, because the difference between the people winning rewards compared to the managers actually participating are much better when it comes to playing your teams in Limited in Division 1. And that is just for Champion in season. That is the only division I play and the only thing I have done research on. Please do your own research on Challenger and Contender, but the chance of that being the same there is very, very high. But my point being is that, yeah, if you believe you can win, come second, come third, come top 5. If you have a very good team, and in this incident you can see I don't believe that I will come first. But I think if I come first, it will be this team, because every single player here has those peak scores. So if the stars align, I could be first, although every single player has tough matchups. And that is just because I want, if this team smashes, I don't want them to be in a very bad division. And also I believe the difference between Division 1 and Division 2 aren't as big. And I think the Division 3 is where there actually is the best opportunity to gain week in and week out. But enough about that. Now I actually want to talk about, and I want to actually come with an example now. Should I do it? Okay, I will come with an example very quick now of last week, and then we could go to why classic season is so undervalued, and it will take like 2 seconds. 4-6-3. The example I want to come with is actually, I have hidden the lineups. I don't know why I have done that, but yeah, Champion in season. Champion in season, we got a reward. We got $55. No, that was Division 4. I think we got $40 or $45 for getting 350 points. That is so good. And compare that to Division 1, where I wouldn't have gotten a reward, and I wouldn't have even come close. I would have needed like 420 points to actually get the reward. I will use simply Alex as an example really quick, because I think he was right behind. I saw him on the leaderboard. Let's look here. 463, yeah. He was 49th, 4 places away, 419 points, and he didn't get anything in Division 1. So if you're going to play Division 1, you need to believe that you can do extremely well, because if you would have played this team in Division 4, Division 3 or Division 2, he would have gotten a really good reward. And the same goes for me. I would have gotten a much better reward if I would have played my team in Division 2, 3 or 4. High risk, high reward. That is how the Division 1 works. But now let's move on to Classic Season. Why I think that is so undervalued. Because I have a Classic Season team out here. Just in case Gorupski gets benched, I have the backup there, and also this team can do pretty well in some cases. But I'm just grinding reward boxes. This is a reward box grind team because everyone has tough fixtures. And if you go to the view prize pool in Division 4, of course the prize pool aren't the best. But if you have like some backup players, I really like to just put them in Classic Season. But we could use the example now for Division 1. And I think this prize pool looks very good when it comes to the Classic Season. And of course, just grinding those boxes isn't that bad. I think the boxes makes it a lot of fun. And next season, in an instant, I think the rewards of, for example, getting $60, $70, $80, $90 in limited, rare, like every scarcity, but in-season competitions compared to Classic Season in terms of the value and the money you get, I don't think the difference is that high or big between in-season and Classic Season. So I think moving or playing in-season next season and selling a lot of your Classic Season players that will, become Classic Season players next season isn't the greatest idea, because of course you need to pay a premium, and I think the Classic Season is slept on. And I don't have any Classic... Yeah, we have a Division 1 team in Classic. Let's look at that. And there are 480 people participating and 36 cards. That isn't so great if you just look at it. That isn't great at all. Because under 7 to 8% of managers will win a card, compared to almost 20 to 25. These statistics are at 100% because I just see them and try to make the math in my head. But the difference are over 10% at least. And if you go to view prize pool, but there is a difference, of course, the reward boxes. And if we see here, 310 reward boxes is given out. So if you have a team here, you will most likely win a reward box, unless you do very poorly. But the closer we look at it, there are no tier 5s and no tier 3s, which is a big step up. A tier 3 is a lot better than just tier 4s and tier 5s. They have removed it, and the tier 4s and tier 5s will be in the boxes, especially in Division 1. And what that does is that, for example, coming top 100, you get 2 reward boxes, and that is a 10% chance of getting a tier 3, not a tier 3, but tier 3 or better, and potentially a super rare card. Like when let's say you finish inside the top 100, and let's say you play in Division 1, in Division 2 and Division 3. If you can gain 2 reward boxes of each of those consistently, you will eventually win the card. And when you win the card, the chances of you actually winning, for example, a super rare, a high rare tier 2, tier 1, is bigger than actually winning the lowest one, which is still very good, a tier 3. So the chances are still very with you when you play Classic Season. And of course there are luck involved when it comes to the boxes and etc. But I still think it's very undervalued, and that is something that have given me a lot of confidence. I'm preparing also now for the next season, stacking up with and upgrading my old season cards and making them as strong as possible for the next season, trying to get them to the best possible level. For example, with Mikkelstad, I have used every single boost on him. He's now on level 18, so I need only 2 level ups to get him on his best level possible. Because I believe him in the I believe he is going to be a great player for the future. And Classic Season as well, another example, won 800 boxes, that is very good, and 1,000 participants. You don't need to do anything special to get to that point. And also when it comes to the cards, we can see that here it is tier 5s. So that is the difference between Division 2 and Division 1. In Division 1 there are only the best possible cards, and I really like that. I think in Classic Season I really like playing in the best level there in Division 1, your priority lineups in Division 1, because of course you have the chance of winning some money. You have the chance of winning super rare cards, and I think that is very, very cool. And I think that makes sense, and I hope I explained it somewhat reasonably. And also remember to watch yesterday's video if you haven't already. I talk about the new tournament I'm going to be hosting. But yeah, we can just very, very fast go through my lineups to end the video off with, because I think that is a little bit interesting now at the start, to just, you guys can see my strategy and implement that in your own strategy if you want to. We can start off with Premier League. My priority lineup will be Jose Sa, Diogo Dalot, Moises Caicedo, Alejandro Garnacho and Idrissa Gana Gueye. Of course, Manchester United are against Liverpool, so I'm not expecting that much. And here we have captain actually Onana in goal. Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro and Marcus Rashford, and also Harry Maguire. Hopefully this team can also perform. I don't believe they, because I captained Onana just for the banter. And here we have Premier League in season. We have Dubravka, Dan Burn, Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak and Anthony Gordon. This is actually a Collection to Glory lineup, so I'll just move fast through them. And nothing here. I think I have some lineups here. No, I don't have it. That's it for the Premier League. Let's go to Champion. We have a very strong lineup here if the stars align. Stuttgart away against Dortmund. It's a tough fixture, but you never know with Stuttgart. And also Steve Mandanda. He has been on fire recently when it comes to his AA performances. And then we have, of course, a team as I mentioned earlier in today's video. This is just a team to grind reward boxes. I really like to have the lowest team, so I don't ruin my division. And here is the priority lineup in Champion and this Collection Glory. I can just go through it if you want to look at them. And then we have the Challenger, and then here we actually have some very interesting lineups. First of all, we have the Norwich stack or collection, whatever you want to call it. I really like this collection. It won me something in the first week, and this is also an example of I think this is so undervalued. In Challenger, here you can see that there are 300 participants and 120 people get. I should have actually started with this. This was a big mistake. I should have started with this. You are so lucky if you still watches this video. If you have a bad, this team is worth almost nothing. Like Sarkic, $70, Jack Stacey a little over $10, McLean a little over $20 I think or something, Barnes $10, Marcelino Nunes $10. If you come top 124 times, you will earn that money on the entire team back, and I've already done it once. And it's so easy. I didn't know it was that good. Top 120 gets $25. That is incredible. And there are only 300 participants. That means that almost 40%, 30 to 40% wins. And that is that ratio is just insane. So that team, hopefully they can do it again. And then we have the Classic Season Team A. I have very high hopes. If Jamie Vardy plays, I just pray that he plays. The rest of the team looks very strong. And also Classic Season, the third division, this is a little bit of a throwaway lineup, but if Daniel James and James Justin play, happy days, this team can do very, very well. In Contender there are only teams in Limited. And then we have the All-Star Rare team. We have David Marshall, Akpa, the new reward, and we also have Angelo Stiller, Wissam Ben Yedder, and also Jane Sancho. Hopefully that can do well. And we also have a throwaway Cap 240 lineup. I hope you enjoyed this video, a little bit a different video, talking more about. I really like to talk about where to play, because that is going to involve a lot around my strategy in the future. And as I said before, make sure to watch yesterday's video, because I have a huge new Sorare Rivals tournament in the Champions League in specific, so I hope you will check that out. But I will catch you next one now. Bye bye and take care. Peace.